Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Messages. My name is Candace Smith. And today I had the opportunity, yeah, no one's going to be here, to have a lot of my messages sort of come back to me in my head. I just woke up, and usually I have sort of more just woken up, like I'll still kind of sit before my messages. But today I really, obviously, in past time, and so I literally just woke up. And one of the things I thought about was one of my messages. It's like, it's never too late. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll do this. And then there's like another one where it's like things happen the way they're supposed to. And so it's interesting to think about. I don't know, because in some ways, they're messages that are important to me because they've been so impactful and so positive and really kind of work in the day to day. And today was just an example to see it in action of what that looks like. So it's like I slept through my alarm, obviously, and uh, it was just a calm, like, okay, I overslept, so I must have been meant to oversleep. And my husband just kind of goes downstairs and like makes the hot water, and I'm just kind of walking around. And so it was just not a chaotic experience because we really do, like, when you see it in action, like, there's nothing stressful about when things don't go your way. So today, for the message, why not talk about trusting what unfolds? Because that's exactly what happened, and I love it. Um, it's like, well, I guess I'm not meant to do Monday morning messages on time. Maybe I'll change the time. Whatever domino effect is behind me not being at the place where I thought I was going to be or wanted to be, is somehow the best outcome for me. And it's one of those things where I was even like, oh, I'll probably get up in time to, like, brush my hair. And it was the complete opposite. Like, this is the opposite. Brushing your hair is pulling it back. So, um, trusting what unfolds, that's one of the ways I think that it's really, when things happen in our life, we can sometimes overlook that there's a lesson exactly in what's happening at that time. And I try to think about when things happen, like, how is this a lesson? How does this look? Really trying to um, stand back and become the observer versus being so into it that you're kind of feeling like you're a puppet to your emotions or other people's actions, and how to really distance yourself from that. One of the examples that I had yesterday, my daughter is 3, and we go on a lot of walks because where else are we going? Let's be honest. Um, and so what tends to happen is, right, you don't really go on a walk. You just go outside with the intention of going somewhere and coming back, but you don't. You meander and you look at a stick and you stop and pick up a leaf. And one of the funny things that I read when I first had a child was, take your kid to the mall and you'll end up saying no for, 2 hours. You take them to the woods and there's nothing that you have to say no to. They can pick up things, break them, pee on them. They do all those. And they also do them at the mall. But you have to say no a lot and apologize to people and be super embarrassed. Or maybe you're not embarrassed, but those things still happen. So it's always stuck with me. Just that one, like, I would get a book and that one thing came out of it. I thought that was amazing. So um, I'm really big on, just kind of going outside because there's just not a lot you have to say no to. And we'll get a few feet, and then she'll be like, I want to be on my scooter instead of walking. So I'm like, okay, you kind of go with it. And then it'll be, okay, let's go back again. I want to, do something different, get a stick. And yesterday, it was kind of the same thing. We sort of get a little ways, and it's like, oh, I want to switch out what I'm doing. You're like, okay, if you don't have plans, if you're not supposed to be anywhere, it's not that difficult, hopefully, to go. Yeah, it's fine. And then we got back to like switch it out, and like a huge thunderstorm just came down, like what do they call it? Sheets of rain. They do say cats and dogs too, but they also say sheets. So it was kind of like trust what unfolds. It was like, and the funny thing is usually she's always right. Like if she says, you know, like we get all, oh, and then we get like all strapped into the car to go. Well, we did go somewhere, my mother-in-law's house. Um, and as soon as like everyone's strapped in, like you get your little water bottle, you know, getting ready to, it's like I have to pee, and you're like, okay, well, I guess this is where we're supposed to be. And you know, in that instance, we didn't necessarily see something that happened afterwards that would make us think, oh, you know, I'm glad she, um, you know, delayed our trip by a few minutes or whatever. But really allowing those things to be exactly what they're supposed to be, because they're not changing. They're not anymore. They're not an inconvenience that you can avoid. It's not like, I mean, I did ask, can you hold it? She said no. So I did attempt to like just keep going because it's only a few minutes away, but um, you know, still not having the emotion attached to it that it has to be a certain way. And one of the other things that people can have is, you know, really not trusting themselves. So this can happen when you make a decision and there's an outcome that is undesirable, let's say. So you had these two choices, you know, should I get this job or go here or, you know, buy this thing or eat something, and something happens because of it. And you immediately think, well, I've made the wrong decision because there was for you, sort of that short-term undesirable outcome. And then it starts to cause us to maybe not trust ourselves and what we're thinking. And you know, the point around that is just that you have the chance to make those decisions and still feel good that you can trust yourself. But just because there's something that happened that you didn't like or that wasn't desirable or completely unexpected, maybe what you perceived in a negative way, means that that was just what was supposed to unfold for you. So trusting, not putting it back on yourself like you've done something wrong, but really understanding that even though you did the right next thing you were supposed to, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to have things that you perceive as, you know, great outcomes or um, relationships or money or anything that you think, I should have done something different because look how this turned out. There's still a lesson in whatever unfolded, and there's still an experience that you were meant to have. And, you know, maybe it created a relationship that you didn't know that you needed. We can't see so far in advance, or so many of those infinite outcomes that could happen and opportunities for us. So really try to trust yourself, and when you have that feeling that one option is better than another, and you go that route, and it doesn't turn out the way you think, it doesn't mean that you can't trust yourself. And even like today, I mean, it's like, okay, I'm late for Monday morning messages. What more can I do than say, okay, I woke up late and maybe something's different and maybe it's not, but it doesn't cause me to start thinking about, you know, I shouldn't be doing this or I should have gone to bed earlier. You know, you really get into the like should have game. You know, my husband should, oh, I guess that's true. You could really be blaming a lot of people. You know, my phone should have woken up. My husband should have woken me up. I should have woken up. You know, the multitudes of people that are out there counting on you. So, you know, I just trust that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And I didn't go 100 miles an hour, really, because all it does is stress people out and sometimes cause you to, you know, make mistakes or you get hurt. The worst is when you're already like behind and you're hurrying and then you just like trip and fall. You know, something bizarre. Food falls, your coffee like drops on the floor, and it's just like a new level, right? You're like, I was already late and now disaster has struck. So that's another point is trusting what unfolds also means not pushing for things to go 100 miles an hour because this needs to happen now. I need to be here. This needs to be this way sooner than I originally anticipated. When you start to push and go against something that is unfolding for your betterment, more things will continue to happen that potentially could also make you continue to say, I made the wrong decision. So, just like this morning, it's just a slow process. It's not any different than what I do most mornings, except for that I stopped my water a little sooner so it wasn't like boiling when I'm trying to like do this. And then it's just a trust that whatever is happening is the best thing for you. And it's just such a more peaceful experience. And even like with my daughter yesterday, it's like, you want to turn around? Okay, no problem. And it is really the one place where, if you go on a walk or hang out with a kid that's going on a walk, that you'll just go, yeah, let's stop and stare at the stick for 30 minutes. If you're not doing anything different and you don't have to be somewhere, give yourself the opportunity and the chance to really just not push things along. If there's not a reason on the other end that you have a time commitment or it's bad weather or someone's, obviously, injured or hurt that you need to be somewhere, it's trusting what is unfolding that you anticipate, but it's also trusting what unfolds that you, just the little things throughout your day, Are you rushing through lunch? Are you rushing through breakfast? Are you looking to get to the next thing without stopping first and just taking that breath and saying, where do I really need to be? Can I just be, sitting here letting something happen and being thoughtful about what I'm doing? So there's a lot of good things that can come from that, a lot of ideas. I think that we get used to pushing ourselves to get to the next thing, and we're not always meant to do that, if you don't have those commitments already. So that's it for today. I didn't want to make it too long. Who knows, maybe I couldn't have made it any longer because I just woke up. Literally. Today, literally, I did. I hope everyone has a great week. Trust yourself. Let things unfold the way they're supposed to. Sometimes things are life or death, but if it's not, don't let it be today the thing that stresses you out the most, because it always works out. And that's what I say. If there's an impediment, if there's an inconvenience, if there's something that happens that you feel like it shouldn't have, but it did, it always works out. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of those examples and just feel like, that's cool. I, let this happen this way and I feel better. Or look what happened because of it. This feels better. I see the results of that. So work your week, don't work this week, and I'll see you guys next week. Who knows what time? It's now a mystery to all of us since today was a little different. So if you need me, I'm here for you. Have a great week.